Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today we will talk about what the research means. So this session would be very useful for those who are beginner in the field of the research. So let me define what the research actually means. A research is a systematic and organized process of investigating a particular topic to discover the new knowledge, validating existing theories, or to develop the new applications. It involves collecting, analyzing, and interpreting data to answer a specific questions or to solve problems or expand our understanding of a particular subject. So let me define the key features of the research and what kind of the types of the research is what we basically conclude are we involve in. So let me first discuss the key feature of research should look like. The first one that it should have a systematic approach. So when I'm saying systematic approach, so basically the research must follow a structure theory to answer accuracy and reliability. So as far as we are conducting the research, it must have a planned and a structures methodology. That should be the one of the key features of the research should be. The second, another important features of the research should be that it should be objective and evidence-based. So when we are talking about that, the objective and evidence based, so we basically we say that the conclusion or the research must be on the empirical data rather than the personal opinion. So we are not supposed to add our own opinion, but rather whatever the experimental data or the answer which we get through that research set, that should be evidence based. Third key feature of the research should be that it should be innovative and exploratory. It offers aims to generate new ideas, technology, or the improvement. So this is, of course, one of the important feature of the research should be that it must have to have include the new ideas or the significant improvement. It should include it. Right? Second last key feature of research should be that it may be replicable and verifiable. What does it means? It means whatever the study which we actually or the experiment which we conduct, so that the results of that experiment or that result must be achievable or verifiable by the other scientists or the other research. That should be the one of the uniqueness of the key feature of any research should be. And the last and the most important one, that logical and the critical thinking. And basically, the research requires logical reasoning, problem solving, and the critical analysis. If that features is included in that study, so we call that this is one of the significant parameter or the feature of the research should be. So now let me talk about the types of the research we comes across. So first one we categorize the research as a basic research. So basically, basic research basically includes the fundamental knowledge without any immediate practical applications. So basically, that the basic research include some of the basic working principles or the phenomena or the laws which we actually makes the basis of any further understanding of particular subject. And the second types of the research is applied research. So this research involves particular parameter to solve the real world problem. And basically, this applied research is somehow a conclusive form of what I have discussed in the basic research. Whatever the principle or the theories which we actually that is involved in basic research, that must be applied in applied research to solve a particular real world problem. So that is known as an applied research. And the third types of the research include experimental research. So in experimental research, we basically conduct the experiments to test a hypothesis under the control condition, and this is kind of the research which we normally do in our lab work. Using or formulating some of the experiment for a particular objective, which we actually are the synopsis which we actually develop at the start of the research. And the fourth type of the research is theoretical research. So basically, this kind of the research actually develops the new models, equations, or the theories. So basically, that doesn't need any a lab like an experimental research works, but you basically need some computer or some kind of the tools which are actually needed to solve the particular mathematical model or the simulation or the theories which involve some of the equations, and then of course we try to derive or to conclude some of the phenomenons or the conclusions from that particular areas, and that kind of the research is known as theoretical research. Then we actually comes across another types of the research, that is qualitative research. So basically this kind of the research is mostly involved in social sciences subject. So basically this kind of the research focuses on the subjective data, opinion, or the observation, basically that involves some of the interviews or the observation which any of the researcher actually that conducts for their study. And the last one that basically that known as quantitative research. So quantitative research uses the numerical data and statistical analysis. So basically, there are many institutes which provides us the data, and as long as we get the data and we actually analyze that data, and then we conclude something from that data or from that analysis to predict or to plan some of the other things with reference to the future. This is one of the very important aspects of the research that is involved, that is known as quantitative research. So basically, most of the statistical research are even the researcher from the field of the economics. So basically, that actually uses this kind of the quantitative research types. Thanks for watching.